Well,
We are blessed.
amen. Josiah?
Yes.
Joe? You said, Josiah, say yes. What is yes?
Amazing.
You're doing amazing. And Pastor John?
Very blessed.
Nigel?
Fantabulous.
Okay, so, well, tonight is going to be a talk. We're going to be discussing. We're going to be, and also, before me, I'll be on Facebook as well to see how we can get the contributions of other people from other parts of the world. So our topic tonight is men's mental health silence. Men's what? Mental health what? Silence. When we are yet to start, there's already a debate that men are not silent. Or our discussions on our mental health is not silenced. Eh? Okay. So at least as we discuss tonight, we'll get to know better men's mental health silence. So what we're going to do, I'll just do we're going to read 2 scriptures, and then I'll do a bit of statistics, then we go straight into our discussion on how we feel. So Psalm 42 verse 5. Psalm 42 verse 5 says, "Why are you cast down, O my soul?" Why? I think tonight we will know why. Psalm 42 verse 5. "Why are you cast down, O my soul? And why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance." Amen. We all would agree that our emotions resides in our soul. And when your soul is cast down, that is a state of the mind. That means the mind is somehow troubled. Philippians chapter 4, verse 7 to 9 says, "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guide your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." I have a question for the men. How peaceful are we feeling right now?
Quite peaceful.
Peaceful. Quite peaceful. Pastor John said it's quite peaceful. Brother Joel?
Always happy.
Always happy. So, Brother Nigel?
Peaceful.
How peaceful?
Maybe a little bit with some of the reactions we're getting from the crowd.
Okay. And yeah. How peaceful do you feel? Yeah, do you feel right now? Chris?
I feel pretty at peace. I'm not worried about anything.
Okay, you're at peace right now.
My mind is just empty. I'm peaceful. You know?
Okay. Okay. Pastor John already said it's peace. Okay. What about you, Pastor Kade?
Yes, I'm quite peaceful at the moment. Yeah.
Pastor Kade says it's quite peaceful at the moment. So what about you, Josiah?
There's like no peace. I've had too much coffee, to be honest. I'm like pumped. Like literally, I feel high right now. Too much coffee.
So the coffee's fighting your peace?
Yes.
So maybe next time, especially when you know have a discussion like this, try to take just less coffee.
I've been very busy today, so I've had stuff to do. We have inspection tomorrow.
But be peaceful, okay? Let your heart be happy.
And I'm probably staying up to finish the rest of the cleaning, but we praise God. Oh, also,
Yes,
I've got a job interview as well tomorrow, so we praise God.
Successful already in Jesus' name. Okay. Okay. So I just want to do a quick read on the silence around men's mental health. You know, men often face immense societal pressure. Do we agree? Ladies, do we agree? The yes is sounding like what do men actually face? Is that how you think? Those online, feel free to let us know your opinion. There's no opinion that is less important. Okay? So men often face immense societal pressure to conform to what is called stoic ideas, that is toughness, self-reliance, emotional restraint. Is it true? Is it true that society always expects women to express toughness? And when we do not express this, how are we treated? Men, how are we treated?
If you don't express that toughness, you are treated as a coward man.
A coward. Do you agree with Pastor John? So there's this heavy weight on us to be tough, isn't it? So that means we ought to be at the front of all battles, even when we are not the one who started such war, isn't it? And when you try to, when you don't show that toughness, you are being regarded as a what? A coward. And in African terms, they call you what? Woman rapper. The woman rapper. How many of us have heard that term before? That means you're a weakling. So there's always the expectations that as men we should be tough. While these norms might appear noble, they frequently hinder men from expressing emotional distress or seeking help, perpetuating what? Silence and isolation. Is it true?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Do we agree with us that due to these expectations, we often restrain ourselves from emotional expression? But why? Let's start the discussion now. Why?
I think sometimes, I won't say from my experience, but from conversations that I've heard other men have, they often express the fact that when you as a man are going through a difficult season, and in the event that you open up to a woman or someone, sometimes the information you may bring out in your space of vulnerability can be used against you at certain times. So that then causes most men to want to just keep quiet and keep it to themselves for the fear of the judgment. When you finally let out that you're struggling with something, they may then look at you, reinforcing what you say. They may look at you as a weak man or as a coward. So most of the time, out of the fear of what people will say or what women will say, most men decide to keep quiet.
Wow. And you called it fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that means we can be afraid of some things.
There are some women who can put the fear of the Lord in men.
Is it the fear of the Lord, or you said because men are afraid? Is it I believe the fear of the Lord is totally different from this fear you're talking about. Fear of the Lord allows you to express yourself, but fear of men expects you to hide how you feel, isn't it? Yeah, Pastor John, you have something to say about it.
Yeah,
Please, the floor is open, okay?
I was going to say, sometimes the men feel like they're being let down when it comes to like confidentiality. Some women want to tell them the society, the stuff that are just supposed to be limited to be consumed by certain individual. Then the next thing you get asked question by someone who was not meant to actually
be part of it.
Part of that. So we'll be silent with just the preservation of should I share this and who else is going to be told about it. So maybe just getting that assurance that when something is confidential, you should treat it as confidential.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is that sometimes as a man, there are informations you want to just pass across to your wife or but sometimes before you know it, a third party is out there in the community. And for that reason why we, as men, we become silent. We just want to keep some information to ourselves.
Yes, because I think women, that's their coping mechanism, like sharing information and get assurance that maybe.
Oh, that's interesting. And thank God that we have some women in the house and many online as well. So, women, do you agree, Pastor John? He said, is there a possibility that part of your coping mechanism is to share confidential information with people outside? Yes, I thought you. Okay, there are mics. Okay, yes.
I think it's not the way you put it. It's not like sharing confidential. It's not like part of our life is to share confidential information. The part of our life is to confide in someone we trust. Maybe to say something, to look for help, to talk to our friend with the aim of getting a good advice. Because a proverb said that a problem shared is a problem half.
Is it the book of Proverbs or African proverb?
So when you share it with your friend or with your loved one, now you feel better.
So is it a general thing about all women or most women?
It's one of it's not all women, but it's one of the things that helps women to live longer because they don't store it. They don't store it in their heart like men. Men will always store it in their heart and not say anything. But when we share it, we feel better. And a statistics shows that men are really not good at sharing their problems.
Okay, so I think Mama, I was so Mama said.
When it comes to confidentiality is confidentiality everywhere. So if someone confides in someone and the person let it out, then that is an individual problem. I don't necessarily think that is a woman problem because...
So we cannot generalize it.
Yeah, we cannot generalize. It's individual. It could be a man or it could be a woman. So sharing something with someone is not necessarily a woman. It can be a man because there are single men there as well as married. So the single might decide to share with their friend who is also a male, but they do not share because of fear of judgment. And confidentiality comes to play as well, but it's not necessarily. I know that there are women that do that, but it's not that I won't not generalize it because we have confidentiality everywhere. So yeah, what is confidential is confidential. Definitely there are people that do share what is confidential, but I won't generalize it.
Okay. So, Apresse, let's hear from you. And then we'll get some reactions from some of the men here.
I think before I want to answer, I just want to ask, based off the first two responses, what do you say? It's that kind of sounding like the men are saying they don't share because of what women would do. But when we go based on society, most of the pressure men face is from other men. You're more likely to be called a weak man from a man than from a woman. Most women actually value vulnerability. And it's like you're fighting your husband for him to come share something with you. It's amongst men. It's very few men that will say, I have a good friend that I can go to. Most men, even amongst their male friends, are silent. So what is the woman that's hurting you in male spaces that you don't share with men?
Okay. The interesting thing is that we are the men here now.
That's what I'm asking.
So we are saying that it's not just about our fellow men saying or seeing us as weak. You heard what Pastor John said, that men will prefer the use of silence than to share because some women will prefer to say it out there. So I believe that for a third-party male to hear and then view the man as a weakling, he must have got the information from the person that the man confided in. Now we're looking at the man, you understand? It's a network. It's not something that the other fellow men, let's say we agree with you now. The question would be, how did those men out there hear about it?
No, I'm saying, why are they struggling to go directly to men? We're not talking about third-party information because Nigel made a statement that women will do this. Pastor John also made a statement that women will do this. And I'm saying, what is blocking men from talking to other men that now they're blaming women for not filling a gap that would be better filled by male friends?
Okay, Pastor, can I answer that?
So I wanted to add, so the question was, why don't men express?
Exactly. Especially,
Okay, so from my experience, most men, in order for them to open up to whether women or other men, they have to build some form of trust. Okay? If a man does not trust even their own friend, no matter what they are going through, they will not share it. And that is something I've seen from primary school all throughout to high school till my adult age. There are some things certain men will share with me that they will never share with other men, not because they don't like to open up, but because they have not built that relationship whereby there is trust and they feel. And also, you need to understand that every man wants to, they need that open space. You know, you need to create an atmosphere of, you know, openness where you can receive them as well. And when that atmosphere is open, they'll be able to share with you whatever they feel or whatever they are going through.
Okay, before we continue on that, let me just do a quick, a few reads from here that will help us out. Okay, so for the sake of those just joining us online, you're welcome. Feel free to make your contributions. The silence around men's mental health, according to what I have here before me, men often face immense societal pressure to conform to stoic ideas, which means they're expected to be tough and self-reliance, emotional restraints, to use emotional restraints and to show how strong they are. So while these norms might appear noble, they frequently hinder men from expressing emotional distress or seeking help, perpetuating silence and isolation. This reluctance can escalate to serious outcomes: untreated depression, substance use, and tragically, suicide. So, based on global snapshots about men's mental health now, across the globe, nearly 970 million people, 970 million people live with mental health conditions, reflecting the immense scale of this crisis. Men are disproportionately affected by non-communicable diseases. They call it the NCDs, including mental disorders. They are 60% more likely than women to die from NCDs before the age of 70. Here are the statistics on men now. Compounding by mental health challenges like depression, anxiety, and substance use. This statistic is from Global Mental Health Action Network. Globally, men account for the majority of suicide deaths and are more likely than women to die by suicide without seeking mental health support. Because what? We're expected to be strong, to be tough until we get to our breaking point. Based on Australian statistics and trends, 1 in 8 men will experience depression during their lifetime, and 1 in 5 will experience anxiety. This statistic is from Western Sydney University. In 2020, statistics of 2020 to 2021, 7.8% of Australian men reported experiencing depression or depressive feelings, while 10.6% reported an anxiety-related condition. This is taken from Australian Institute of Family Studies. Suicide remains the leading cause of death for Australian men under the age of 45. Men 3 times more are likely to die by suicide compared to women. These statistics from the Hospital Research Foundation. 3/4 of suicide deaths in Australia are male, underscoring the gender disparity. Alarmingly, 51% of Aussie men say they have suffered or are suffering from mental health condition. 1 in 3 men report experiencing suicidal thoughts. Only 37% of men and boys in Australia reach out for support when they need it. Out of the 51%, only 37% of men and boys in Australia reach out for support when they need it. And this is where we begin to look deeply into these expectations from society. Sometimes we try to be tough. Sometimes we try to, manage it our own way. So mental health issues impact 1 in 4 Australian men. So when you go to the shopping mall, you walk past 1, 2, 3, 4, at least one of them. So 1 in 4 Australian men are impacted by this. Many avoid seeking help, even though up to 80% have seen a GP in the past year for unrelated issues, making the silence particularly insidious. 80%. Don't worry, we'll get to the discussion. I'm just reading statistics so that whatever we discuss is around these facts. So in the construction industry alone, around 190 workers take their own lives annually. Yearly. Highlighting the vulnerability in male-dominant sectors. In fact, I had a chat with Brother Odi, I think about a few weeks ago, and he told me, I think within the same week, 2 of his colleagues, male, took their lives. Within the same week, in the same workplace. Okay, so now we are coming home here to WA, statistics from WA. So while localized mental health figure for PEF or WA men are less frequently published, that is another disadvantage we have. We don't really get documents showing what is happening to the men. But issues of the women are so much amplified. So tonight's study is a cry for help. We're crying wherever they are watching this, especially in Australia, in the Shire, where women are crying for help. We need more conscientization. We need to be encouraged. The more. Okay? So the WA Health and Wellbeing Surveillance System, HWSS, has been tracking mental health trends across WA since 2002, surveying 700 residents per month. Detailed adult well-being data for 2022 are available in Health and Wellbeing Adults in Western Australia report. Although this report doesn't isolate men's mental health specifically, it offers broad trends and regional insights that can inform local conversations. So, there are trends. There are trends or themes around the reason why men are silent. Number 1 is cultural expectations and emotional isolation. Societal norms discourage distress, manifest it as physical symptoms, example, headaches and GI issues, and avoid emotional disclosure, especially to health providers. The second challenge we have as men is barriers to help. Though men visit GPs regularly, they seldom discuss mental health. There is a stigma admitting emotional struggle, and this may be perceived as weakness. And some people don't want their children to be taken away from them. Number 3, issues we are facing is structural risk factors, which is occupational stress, isolation, and limited emotional support networks. This elevates the risk, especially in industries like construction. For those of us who are like Roger, you worked in the mines, Pastor John, you worked in the mines. You understand this more than some of us here. So, number 4 challenge the men have is the cost of silence. Untreated mental illness carries high cost. That is economic loss. We are not as productive as we should. It also affects social connections, which results to broken relationships. Sometimes people don't really, especially women, we don't really address issues the way they are, that this is mental health. We look for other stories around it. I'm not happy. I feel offended. Someone is doing this, but this is all about mental health and fatal suicides. Okay. So based on still parts forward here, I'll just read that quickly, then we'll go to discussion. How do we get out of this as men? Number one, we need to normalize the conversations. We need to create platforms like Men's Shed. I think that exists somewhere here. Movember and Are You Okay? These are organizations. Are You Okay? These are organizations that helps to bring up discussions about men's mental health. And to add to that, our men's department, JPPM men's department. This should be part of what we do as well. So I want to encourage every man to get ready. I want to believe God that after tonight's study, we are going to have a lot of activities in the men's department. We'll go for golfing. Pastor Kade and Nigel will lead us in golfing. We'll go for fishing. We'll go for other activities. It's not just reading Bible and praying. We need activities for the men as well. You know, maybe Saturday morning we'll go out fishing. In the afternoon we'll go golfing. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I think that's one of the reasons why so many men are depressed, because most men spend a lot of time working and doing men stuff. They hardly I remember when I first moved to Australia, one of the things that we used to do a lot was barbecues, you know. So whenever there's barbecue, all the men will gather. There will be beer, barbecue, and everything. But these days, no one hardly has barbecues anymore. Everybody is isolated inside.
Are the beef hiding or the chicken? Like...
We used to go to the beach, have barbecue. There'll be, you know, those days, Pastor John, you remember, at least twice a month, somebody will host a barbecue at the beach. There will be football. Will be
so we should add that on the menu.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. You go to the beach.
We'll add that on the men's activity. Okay, so let me say this, then we go straight to more of our discussion. If you look at the life of the man, straight from work, he's tired, he eats, he sleeps, the next day back to work. It's like there is no opportunity for social connections. You don't have a social life. But we thank God for the church. But beyond the church, we need to look at what can we do. As men, we have skill, the women, I noticed it's even affecting our men's department. Yes, because the women, I've been blessed to witness their meetings. They are connecting, they are laughing, they are smiling, they are harnessing, that opportunity. But for the men, what did you say? The men think too much. We overthink. Okay. So let's hear from the floor. Then the discussion is open now. Let us move. Yes, let's hear from Sister Yvette.
I wrote a couple things down as you were talking.
Okay.
So my first question is, if 1 or 4 men are impacted by this, how many of you right now on stage are depressed?
Yeah, I think
You already confessed that coffee is doing something to you right
You
now.
can, because it's about mental health.
Yes, that's why we're here.
there might be
here.
none.
Yes.
There might be none because when you look at the statistics as well, of course, it doesn't specify whether those men are Christian or not.
Yes.
Because when you talk of humility means different to someone who fears God and someone who looks at humility as being weak. So in terms of opening up, I would actually want to think that believers, we open up more than people who mistaken, vulnerability as being weak.
Okay. Yes, let's hear from our mental health practitioner, Minister Mary. We have some mental health practitioners in the room. Sister Ola is one of them.
Yeah, thank you, Papa, for raising this topic in this church, because on our last suicide prevention summit that was in Perth, the convention center, they were mentioning that Christians, they don't talk about mental health. Yes, so that was one of the main topics. I think I just forgot to raise it with you. Like they were just blaming like more suicide deaths are happening in churches because they don't talk about mental health in churches. It was raised nationally, the whole of Australia, all the people, all the states were there. When they were
So they said they are not
Christians.
mental health Christians.
Yeah, they say Christians, they don't talk about mental health. So I think this is the right opportunity, the right time you raised this topic. And I'm just thinking the way how we as Africans, the way how we have been raised, again, it's another thing that affects us. Like when I was growing up, and still now, I'm hearing people saying if the boy child, if he falls down, if he cries, men don't cry, boys don't cry.
Yeah, man.
It is still, that mentality is still there, that men, they don't cry, men, they don't do this. So they grew up the way how they've been taught to suppress their emotions, not having that opportunity to express themselves. It's still there. It is still there as well. And there's also a lot of stigma, like what you said, like there's a lot of stigma, fear of being judged. If I say this, probably you say this. It's not true that if you tell your wife will go and tell everybody about it. But there's that fear, that insecure thing, like if I say this, probably she'll say this. It's still in the head, like.
But are you sure there are no proofs that women have done that to us?
Probably some, but we can't generalize. Yes, it's not all. Some. Why would I go and tell the whole world that?
Not the whole world. Someone, it can be an individual.
Yeah, it might be.
It can even be in-laws.
Why should I just go and say, oh, my husband has got a mental health issue? Where is it coming from? Unless there was a conversation that would lead to that. They can say that.
But is that justifiable?
I'm not too sure. Probably it had happened to some of the people.
Because what some of us men will say is that if that is justifiable, then we are justified for keeping silence as well.
I'm just thinking keeping silence is lack of awareness. It's just lack of awareness. Not knowing the signs and symptoms of mental health. The other factor that makes them not seeking help. Because if you are not aware, let's say you drink so much, you don't know that drinking so much, it affects your mental health as well. And
Okay. Yes. So what we'll do is that we'll be bouncing, not to and fro now, okay? We're bouncing from the stage to you. So let's hear from Josiah, then we'll hear from someone there.
Praise God. So I think that's very good what you said. And I did want to say that there is some women who are contentious and terrible. Not all of them. And we were in a conversation. So we were in a conversation with myself and someone else. And this person said, oh, me and my future husband are going to start ministry, and she blurted out everything. Oh, we're going to start a church. We're going to do this and this. And then the man looks at her and says, why did you just say that? And it's something that says, it's as I said, it's not everybody who does that. It's not every woman who does that.
So the man who responded to her, is it the husband to be?
Yes. And that they weren't married, and their relationship is kind of iffy. And the mum who's the pastor, and they're not in a good relationship. And the woman deliberately cut her son off, and then her son came to visit. The woman made her mum.
Whatever happens in their relationship, that is their business. But what I wanted understanding was what you said.
Yeah.
So she let out every information about their plans for the future.
Yes.
And the man was not happy about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was a secret, and he confided in her. And I could see in his face, I saw me and him were talking without talking. I saw it.
Yes. Yes, Sister Susera.
First of all, if we're talking about gossiping, are you not spreading the people's relationship business right here?
Names.
Anyway, what I was gonna say, I don't think any women here doesn't acknowledge that men have mental health struggles. As women are aware of our mental health struggles and our societal expectations, because just as society has expectations on men and how men should behave, there's also expectations on women, on how women should behave, on how women should look after their children, how women should dress. And I'm not making a competition on who has it worse, because anyways.
Because statistics already shows it that we have it worse.
Okay.
Okay.
But could I just say, back with the, but the
Statistics already. I have more statistics here.
Okay.
I will read them out. Don't worry. Yes.
What I wanted to say though,
It's part of the silence.
is with the awareness of what you know about mental health. What are men doing for other men to help men? Because women, knowing the struggles that women have, we actively make an effort to create a community for women. There's spaces in Perth for men. Men shed. There's mental health services. Men don't access these things. Women cannot stop a man from seeking
That is,
support from
men
others.
don't access it. That is why we're here.
But
And
what are men
and we're
doing
trying
to
to
help men?
we're trying to encourage men to assess them. That's what we're trying to address right now.
What are men doing to support men?
Before we go to men, we want the women to tell us what they are doing to support us first. Yes, let's have Sister Deborah, and then we have, I don't know who says so, Sister Yvette, Sister Ola. Yes.
So I think,
Well, we'll come back to you, Percy.
so two things. When we are speaking right now, we're speaking from what we see. Statistically, men are actually starting to engage. Like, as we're studying about the profession and all that stuff, like, men are actually starting to engage more groups. There's been more podcasts going around. Men are actually taking steps because it started with one man saying, okay, men need help.
But do you agree that men are being silenced? Do you agree?
I think when it comes to like certain ethnic groups, they are being silenced because when we look at the majority as a whole, no, men are actually not really like that anymore. Things are changing. Yeah, things. And secondly,
It's not about gossiping. We are not talking about gossiping. We're talking about our mental health here.
So, like,
If you look at us on stage, see, Brother Niger, there's something covering his head. Only God knows what he's thinking right now. Then look at Brother Chris, his hair is full.
yeah.
You know, look at some of us, the Lord is helping us.
And then so like that. And then on the second thing was a question my husband wanted me to ask. So in regards to the whole talking thing, he mentioned that he had, I think in one situation he had spoken to somebody about something. It wasn't too major, but it was something. And then they ended up telling like their partner. And then other people started hearing it. And my husband is already a quiet person. He would just automatically never speak about things to you again. So from that situation, he says, oh, I'd rather just call mama. When we were having that conversation, he said, I'd rather just call mama because he doesn't trust a lot of men near his age because to him, they talk too much. Like, that's what he said. So
yeah.
From that situation, he just kind of withdrew. So like, there's a lot of men like that. They can trust. And then if you break that, they're like, nah, this is what I'm saying. And they never speak up again.
But the good thing is that I can speak to someone, isn't it? He's able to open up. We are trying to address something here. It's about men opening up. Is that silence, okay? That's what we're saying. Because we're looking at okay, yes. Let's hear from.
Yeah, so
yes, you have
just
something to say.
support what Sister Deborah just said now. I think the element of trust is very important. One would choose not to say anything if you are going to be misquoted. just keep it to yourself, then no one can actually say anything.
So do you agree that we men were often misquoted?
Correct. Is the
Men, do we agree? Bro, yeah.
I think the trust, so it will be.
Niger, do you agree? We men were misquoted sometimes, or most of the time. Use your mic so that they know you are implicating yourself.
Not most of the times, but sometimes I think we're a bit misunderstood.
What about you? Is it sometimes or most of the time?
Yeah, we get misquoted.
Don't talk like you are scared. We are here to express ourselves. We are here to express ourselves. This is a discussion. No one is judging anyone. What is your opinion? Let's feel free.
Okay, my opinion on what men being misquoted. Yes, men do get misquoted a lot, and there are
by who?
By mostly women, but
okay, okay, yes,
because
we're here to express ourselves. We will not hide.
I've witnessed, like, let me give you an example. I've witnessed men. Sometimes, like, let's say if a sister walks in the church, oh, sister, you look great today. And then that sister will interpret as this man wants to marry me. Like, how do you go from a compliment to wanting to get married? Before you know, they are having thoughts.
To company.
Yes, they are having thoughts of things that doesn't make sense, And then they will say that, oh, you are trying to hit on them. I just said you look nice today. It's not every day that you look nice. So today you look good. I complimented you. You misinterpret my compliment.
Okay. So Chris, what do you have to say? Chris and Joe, we need to hear from you. You are so quiet. Is anybody intimidating you, the two of you in this house? Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
About what was the question?
Do you also agree that men are most of the time misunderstood by a female?
Yeah, I think a lot of men, when it comes to emotionally expressing ourselves, we're misunderstood a lot of the time because we don't really know how to express emotions properly. Because most men, I know that from experience, my personal experience, we just don't have that emotional outlet. A lot of men, like, for example, myself, I'll use myself as an example. I grew up playing a lot of basketball from Monday to Sunday, basketball every single day. Basketball is all physical. There's no emotional outlet to it besides just letting out your anger on the court or something like that. That's not a healthy expression when it comes to trying to be emotionally mature or anything like that. You know what I mean? So a lot of men go through more physical things to handle emotional stuff like that. But when it comes to actually expressing yourself to a male or female, no matter what, we're misunderstood just because we simply just don't know how to express how we feel, what we're thinking, all that kind of stuff. So for a lot of men, it's easier for us to just be silent rather than express ourselves, rather than, all that kind of stuff. But that's just from personal experience.
So Joel, let's hear from you, Joel. We'll come to you, Sister Ola and Sister Yvette. Then Percy. Yes.
Well, I agree with what he said. Yeah.
Right, Joel, you're a suspect. You're a suspect.
I mean, I haven't been that type of person that likes to express himself or express his emotions and feelings. Because obviously, by the way I grew up, I managed to deal with certain situations by myself without being able to speak to anyone. Based on experience, with not having one like a father figure around you, you don't really know how to cope with certain situations. So you find your own ways how to deal with it. And for me, it's really hard for me to understand how people go through mental health or go through depression or go through anxiety, because I've never let myself go to that point or that extent. So when it comes to when I do go through a little bit of that feeling, it's just like, oh, well, there's no point in me speaking it out, because I'm like, if I do speak it, are they gonna understand what I'm saying? Because that's where I think we're misunderstood, because when girls express feelings, they express feelings. When men express feelings, we don't really express feelings. We don't really say exactly what we're really feeling.
But why is that?
Because of the way that we get looked at. Working in the construction industry, you also deal with men that's like men, that's older than you. So then you expect to live into that standard of a man that's already older than you. And one, you get bullied there. So then when you come home, you can't express that, oh, I was getting bullied, blah, blah. And then, because then they'll be like, well, quit. But you know, you can't quit that job because you need it. So, and another thing is like, if a man, one, goes to a woman and the woman is like, oh, can you open this can? And the man can't open the can. What is the woman gonna think? You know? So,
and especially if you're the type who visits the gym every time.
The type is like, oh, well, I expected a man to do this because my dad did it. I expect you to do it. A lot of women have that perspective of men because their father has shown them a part of a man that some men can't, you know, display or give. Well, something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sister Ola, we'll hear from you then, Sister Yvette, and then Percy. This is getting very, very interesting.
All right. I think the idea of men's mental health silence, I don't know the time or the year of the statistics, but I think like right now it's a lot of avenues. There's like men's share, there's like different activities.
JPPM department.
There's like a different lot of like, are you okay day? There's like people like, for example, like these people that come to work for like boats and fishing. There's like, for example, we have like people who go on country. There's a lot of avenues like men can utilize. And nowadays, even men are having like podcasts. They talk about their mental health. So I don't know what date the statistics are from. I'm not quite sure what time they're from.
Okay,
but
we are from this time.
Based on what you said, to be honest, I've just recently started hearing about Are You Okay Day, but with the rest, I've actually never heard them.
Very true.
Only
very
because,
true.
well,
exactly.
When you're really busy as a man, you're going to work, you're coming back. You don't really have time to go through social media and actually find those things.
Well, just sorry.
Very true. I agree with you.
Everybody goes to work and comes back home. But you still have time to be on your phone to yarn to your friends and whatnot. So I think it's also having I think personally, having a mentor. I think some men do not have mentors to speak to. Even some people don't have people they can have a honest conversation with. So I think as a man, you need to, as a boy or girl, anybody you are, you need to have a person you can go to and be like, this is happening with me. I need advice for that. That's why I think having a cover mentor would be perfect in this situation. But in saying that, when it comes to construction, and because I've worked in different places. When it comes to men using drugs or using other avenues, for example, there's something we call the men midlife crisis, where they get a new fine spanky young wife and buy a boat and a yacht, or change their body and whatnot. We say it's the midlife crisis, right? But at the same time, it's an avenue to express the stuff of what they want, really, and that's technically okay as a man to do that. I think now it's just there's a bit of accountability men need to have for themselves. If you want help, you know how to source it. A phone, everybody has a phone. You can go on your Google, like, where is the nearest Headspace? Lifeline is really there for you to just call on the phone and just talk for yourself.
You know that while I was doing the read, it is said that we have many men visiting their GPs, but none of them opening up to mental health.
But the thing is
it's not about having phone, but we are trying to deal with why are we quiet? Why are we silent?
When you go to the GP, you're only there for 5 or 10 minutes max. Even as a woman, 10 minutes you're there, you're gone after the GP. You have to request, I would like to have counseling. I would like to have this. We can't assume, Pastor, sorry.
It's not an assumption. It's the statistics is showing that most men will not open up. So we need to deal. We want to address.
Okay, you can go to the GP for toothache and you're having mental health issue. Whatever you go to GP for, you will get from the GP. They can't read your mind. You have to open up your mind. And
let me say something.
Let's hear from Sister Yvette.
I just want to say something.
Okay. After you said Sister Yvette and that person.
I've noticed one thing since this whole thing has started. We have been silenced the whole time. So you can see why, as soon as there's we
Exactly.
We don't know.
I can
do
see
you,
how
do you want
quiet
us to react, or do you want us
quiet.
to? Because I don't understand what is. One person is saying,
Pastor John is be quiet.
all I'm hearing is men. I'm not hearing any advice here that is helping us.
There's no encouragement.
Yeah, there's no encouragement. We can't even.
Sister Yvette, let's hear from you.
I wanted to ask. Okay, so I wrote down. I said the difference between why women depression or suicide tendency are more attended to is because we actually talk, and we open up to one another to get a specialist, or we even talk to a friend. Most men, when they go through any mental situation, including my husband, has told me, even my brothers, most men, even George just said it, that they don't really believe in depression, or like mental health is not real.
Even when you see them depressed.
No,
I didn't say
about,
we didn't believe.
It's not about seeing, like, it's easier, even if I was to meet a lady, right? It's easier for women, even if it's the first time us meeting, we can talk about everything. Do you know what I mean? Most men meet, for example, my husband, you can come over, he will not talk to you, he will just probably say hi and he will be on his iPad. You know what I mean? Most men are very to themselves, and that's not our fault. If you guys have mental health, no, because I saw this thing where it says most men will not speak about their suicidal attempts until they fail and they're in the hospital, waking up from a failed suicide attempt. That's when they actually talk. Most women, before we even get to that stage, we've already spoken to 4 or 5 women or even seen a specialist. So it's not really our fault that you guys are in a situation where you can't get there. But also, I also don't blame that, because I see the way my husband and his dad communicate. It's very business communication. They're very
how to make money.
It's not even about how to make money. It's they're not father and son. They're more of business partners. Colleagues. So most men, even raised by fathers, because he was raised by his dad, it's more of emotion, more solution. So even when I go talk to my husband about let's say I have a problem with somebody or something happened to me at work, he's more thinking about here's the solution instead of give me more information. But most men just think about solutions. So even when he's having problems at home or things are happening at work, he's always he comes up with solutions, then talks to me about the solution instead of coming to me about the problem before we come together as a solution. So it's not really our fault as women. It's more of your fault as men to learn how to speak up, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you for showing us our fault. Sister Percy, we hear from Mama. Then we'll come back on stage here, yes.
I think more than...
Sister Louis, I will read your comments and those sending it through comments, I'll read it. So I'll read them. So, yes.
More than it's important to point fingers at whose fault is this, we all recognize there's a problem. That's why the panel is here. And where I think the sentiment of what women is saying is we show up for each other. Women are like men. They're like humans. You need to trust someone. When a woman gives birth, I see it all the time on social media. Like, my friend gave birth. They'll cook food for the week just for that woman. And then men are left out because it's easier for men to show up for each other because they know. So my question is, 1, do men actually know how they want to be shown up for? Because there's all this, we need space. Clearly, a lot of women, we don't know what it looks like. What men expect as a safe space is going to be very different to what women expect from a safe space. So what does that actually look like for men? What is the space where men will say, hey, this is the person I feel safe to trust, to talk to, whether it's a man or a woman? What does that look like? How do men want to be shown up for? And do these men even show up for other men? Because it's not a one-sided thing. It's very hard that you build a personal relationship and you're both not putting effort. It's an intentional choice. Men are crying, saying women have women. Yes, because women intentionally make the decision to take time out of their day and say, I'm going to listen to you. So what does it have to look like for men that men will now want to talk to other men, or men will now want to talk to other women? Because genuinely, I don't think a lot of men know. And women, we don't know.
Okay, tonight we will show you if we know or not. Here. So we're going to respond. The men here will respond. Then we'll go to Mama. Okay. Pastor Joy is the first man I want to respond.
So men actually know what they want. So the major problem is the fact that some men have been beaten a couple of times and they don't want to be beaten the same way, which is lack of trust now.
Wait, I'm asking, what do men want? Sorry, because that's not answering your question. What do men want?
What they want is just someone being honest. So how this will start is the men will share their problem. Then the next thing is you're actually told by someone else whom you least expect that information will be shared to that person. Then he said, okay, no, that's fine. So how is that, intended to solve my problem if now maybe the impression that I have is the whole society, they now know, community, they now know about my problem. But we are now talking of a man who wants to maintain their status. They regard themselves, one of their responsibilities, they are supposed to be a provider for the family. Now, maybe you just failed, or you've just sought for advice, from one person. Now you've now been exposed to the whole community as you can't provide for the family.
Exactly, that's an example, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you're struggling to provide for the family and you expect that your wife understands. But instead, you hear from the community that this is one of the men, the lazy men in the community. So we are responding to you. We still have more people responding. Yes, let's hear from Chris. Chris is trying to respond to you. Okay.
So I'm listening what you guys are saying.
Yes, Chris.
So, yeah. I would like to touch up on what you said about what men to expect or something like that. I think for me personally, I think I can speak for most men as well, where we don't really expect anything, to be honest, from other people. When one of the ladies said that when one of the women have a baby, all the women will cook for her and all this and this. But as a man, if I was in this situation, I wouldn't expect anyone to do anything for me if I was having a child.
You feel like that's part of the problem that men don't.
You understand how we think.
Yeah, I'm asking.
And because of possibly how we've been nurtured, go ahead.
Yeah. We don't expect because we know that we generally feel like no one's actually gonna come because we always know that they always come for the woman. But deep down, to be honest, deep down, if someone was to come in that moment, as a man, you actually feel grateful. But you don't really expect someone to come unless someone actually come with their own heart and actually do it.
Like to show up.
Show up for the man as well as the woman.
Guys.
She gave an example, if a woman gives birth.
The example,
Let's say you got injured or you are in the hospital.
Yeah, with gifts, with coming and be like, oh, congratulations, giving that man a hug. Like anything, even small, big, it doesn't matter. That's what I think. I
actually agree. I heard this man say, and this is sensitive, but most of the time when a woman miscarries, the support goes to the woman, and it rarely goes to the man who also lost the child. So exactly. I see that sentiment. But where I'm asking about expectations, the quality of women's friendships are usually better because we have expectations. I will not maintain a friendship as a woman with another woman that cannot show up for me. But because men lack that expectations, that's why you have friends that don't show up for you. If that was a standard to say, I want men in my life that I know are going to show up for me, I think that's really the core of where men would start to show up for each other, because that's an expectation that the men in my life, when I need them, are going to look out for me.
Can I address that? Most of the time, we men, we don't have expectations because we want to avoid heartbreaks or disappointments. Not because we shouldn't expect. We know what we should do. But since we need to toughen up, to manage ourselves. Because the woman is truly highly favored than the man. Because when you see a man and a woman, is it hitchhiking, they call it, walking and sweating on the road, a car will stop and the woman that will easily offer her a ride. But the man will be suspected as a thief or a robber or a kidnapper or killer. He'll be abandoned on that road. So with that, we try to help ourselves. Let me just read some reactions online. Luis from Brisbane says, when men don't speak up, their what? Their loved ones does.
So which one? When men don't speak by words.
Okay, this one.
So when men
Can you use your mic?
When men does not speak up, their loved ones does not, especially when they truly care. Not every man like to speak by word, but chooses with action. Men was alone. That's why God sent women, so that men will not feel alone.
So in general, no man is silenced. It's up to the individual to speak up. That is from Lewis. And Lewis also said, JPPM men, our brothers, tonight is an opportunity to openly discuss. So please take advantage. She's advising us. Please take advantage of this, because we women are ready to step in to fill the gap.
Yeah.
So we can clearly see some struggle despite you brothers getting support. And open floor tonight. Women are still helping. So as Sister Gertrude said, the encouragement for men is to learn to open up to either your wife or someone who they trust. Men need to learn to speak up. Women, let's take time to ask men what is troubling them. Then Sister Yero says, fragile men can lead to what?
So you say fragile men
ego can lead to resistance to showing emotions of their mental health, admitting to mistakes, especially if those actions are seen as unmanly. It does affect them. Okay, as Sister Gertrude, finally, before we come back to Mama now, Sister Gertrude said, great point, Brother Joe. We need to see men support themselves so you feel loved and supported. The issue of women is leaving a baby the issue of a woman having a baby and fellow women cooking for her is a good example. So, but don't find men cooking for the man.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mama, let's hear from you. Okay, yes.
I would like to say one thing as well.
Okay, after Joel, yes.
Yeah, they're still waiting for our response.
Yes, Joel wants to say something.
Okay. Personally, honestly, I think where men can speak up, it doesn't. In my opinion, it shouldn't start with other men. I think it starts with the woman first.
The woman, yeah.
And it starts with either your wife or your closest person that's to you as a female.
Sister.
Because a man seeks, as like a child seeks love from the mother, the same thing as a man seeks love from a woman, like his wife or his sister or his mother. So I personally, based on my relationship, is that I never really felt a lot of emotions. I wasn't the type to feel emotions, but Martha knew how to get my emotions out of me. She knew how I could express it, and she figured ways how I was able to do that. Because for example, there was this moment where she held my hand, and it was face to face, and she told me to breathe. She said to inhale, exhale, and to just feel your. I would have never done that myself as a man. So I'm trying to say is that it should start with the woman, and then from the woman, a man will be able to open up to another man. And you, as a wife, you need to find a way how you're able to unlock that sort of, thing from a man.
I like that word. Unlock.
Yeah, because as men we can act so tough, but deep down we're actually soft. We actually care. We actually love. Yeah. We feel so much emotion, but it's up to the woman to make us feel that comfortability to express our.
Yes, that's true. And
yeah,
also,
I'm not saying it's a woman all the time, But I said
No, we'll come to you.
We'll come to you. Just
We'll come to you.
We'll come to you. Just let us finish.
You asked us what we,
Yes.
and I'm saying it starts with you women first.
Yeah.
Because you guys, we trust.
Let's
The
finish,
reaction
please.
of the women.
Don't silence
I don't
us.
understand the reaction.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because
What he said is so true. And that's why I said when you create an atmosphere where a man can open up, they'll open up without even knowing they are opening up.
Exactly, yeah.
So because I've been watching videos online of and it's like a little experiment that people do in public. And what they do is like a guy will pretend like he's crying on the side of the road. And you will see out of 20 people that walk by, only maybe one will reach out and try to see if the person is okay. But when it's women, out of that 20, the whole 20 will attend to her. So that experiment alone shows that men, even when we are expressionists, we don't get the attention we need. So that's why we'd rather be silent. You understand? It's not like this thing is a public thing that was done. We've seen it, even down to abuse. If they did one, there was another one I saw where if a man was abusing a woman, you will see the reaction of people in the public who just quickly attend to stop the man. But when a woman is abusing
the man in public,
abusing the man, everybody just walks by. Men and women, some of them will be laughing, some of them will just look like nothing is happening here. So you can see that there is this biasness when it comes to how men get the support they need. It's not something that we're saying just to say women don't care or to put women down, but statistically showing men don't get the support that they actually need. So and even like in Africa, when I grew up a bit in Africa, so I've had a little bit of experience. There is so much high expectation on men. Men have to go to the farm, they have to do this, they have to do that, whereas women stay home. So whenever things, I'm saying those days. I'm from the village. I was not. I lived in the village, so it was a different story then. In the village, mostly men will go out there. They'll be the one, doing all the work, tilling the ground, and the women will stay home to look after the children. It's not. We're not. That's how the.
Yes.
Yeah. If for those of you who grew up in the village, that this is something that it's something that happens there. So, already since creation, men have always been given all the work, whereas women just come in, they just enjoy themselves, Okay. And this is the part women don't want to agree with. Women, you enjoy, on your birthday alone, we see a cake that is as high as the heavens. We see dresses that we've never seen.
On some men's birthday, you see short cakes,
short tie. Even the clothes you wear is from Target. It's not.
Sorry, can I interject, please? Thank you.
Okay, let's hear you say that the floor is open to
please,
you.
Women, listen, all right?
I specifically agree with you, Brother Kere. God bless your soul. Amen. Now, sorry, the past 7 years, my friend Barnabas, he's a great guy. He's from Hungary, so he's a great guy. I've known him for quite a while, since 2013. So
don't worry about the dates.
Forget, yeah. So 3 times in the 7 last years, since 2013, 3 times, he has celebrated. He bought me a cake. I came to his house, or he came to my house. We've celebrated 3 times. I have had probably the equivalent since 2013, 2 celebrations. No one said, hey, Koi, God bless you, Brother Cadet. I know he has said that he's going to bless me. So amen. So that's, but otherwise, the birthdays that I've had, I didn't have my friends saying, come on, let's go celebrate. My dad wasn't there. My family wasn't there. I had no one there. I was just, sometimes I didn't even have a cake. I was up at 12 o'clock making eggs. Oh, happy birthday to me. That was it. That was it. I'm going to be honest
he's
there.
Speaking from his lived experience. Okay. So let's hear from Sister Deborah, Sister Paula,
I did actually ask, by the way.
Evangelist Veronica, Susaria, Yvette. Yes, so the floor is yours. So let's start from Ola. Let's go this way, Ola.
Hello.
say, I think like, I don't know if I sound a bit feminine, but I just want to say this, right? Or maybe feminist, whatever the word is. Men need to find joy outside of women. They need to find hope and mental health support outside of women. And
wait. You know why that advice can't work?
Hey.
God himself looked at man and it's no good.
But no, I'm saying
for man to be alone. God himself said it, the creator of all things.
It in a mental health.
So that advice will not help us right now.
I'm
go ahead.
I'm saying it in a mental health.
Okay, mental health.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. So you need to have hobbies, things that you enjoy, that gives you joy and happiness.
Okay, now I'm understanding.
Okay. You need to realize, for example, going for a walk, having a cup of tea, going for a cafe and whatnot gives me joy and happiness. You need to have things that gives you joy. And when you see that, okay, you're feeling a bit low in your mood, you're feeling a bit like, you're having poor sleep, you have like indicators that, okay, maybe your mental health is actually not on point. You need to do things that will give you joy. You need to have avenue. Please, avenue, right?
Okay. We'll come back to you. Let him react to. Because you are trying to understand us, isn't it?
Men already do that. So when they play games to do that, but that only shuts what's inside. It doesn't really allow. That's what I say.
Just like you said about basketball.
Just like what he said. He plays basketball. Men find things to do that, but it doesn't allow them to pour out what's inside.
You need to find ways to pour out what's inside. That is through your.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that only you women have that thing that can allow a man to actually open up properly.
I bet. So you're saying that a woman now has to be the source of your joy for you to open up again?
Because God gave us women to help us.
Pressure. No, it is too much pressure on women.
So let's say. Samson.
Hold on. Let's hear from Pastor John.
Yeah, so.
Let's hear from Pastor John. Pastor John is reacting to it.
Yeah, definitely good point, Sister Ola. But I think women should be really sensible when it comes to dealing with men.
Yes.
So maybe the reason why women live long according to statistics, they
yes.
don't actually know that they actually they actually contribute to, this men withdrawal. One, especially here in Australia, I would say maybe Africa.
Please, are we listening?
A little bit different. So in Australia, just think about it. In Africa, I could actually afford to go to work without my wife having to work. And we had 2 housemaids, 2 employees who were looking after the garden. So my wife only ended up getting a course just as an insurance to say, okay, no, that's fine. What happened then if I die? But there was no pressure to actually go to work. Then come to Australia, you might end up now with someone who was, a breadwinner for the family. Now you come to Australia, maybe you're both nurses. I'm not saying nurse is the bed.
Yes.
But the expectation there is the husband should still provide more than what the wife, same salary, same everything. So now we got 200, maybe we're getting 92,000 each. Where do you then expect me to get maybe 150,000? We've just come to the same work, same employer, same everything. The expectation is you are a provider. Instead of now we've got this situation. How can we support the family together? It's not that expecting the men now to actually able to go
to still be winning the bread.
3 more jobs so that he can actually get 150. He should always expect it to earn higher than the one.
Yes. Yeah, because there's always there's a saying that the woman's money is for her, but the man's money is for us. So everybody, including vacation.
So you might actually be contributing for that get rate. You might be contributing for that.
So that may be one of the reasons some men have high blood pressure, isn't it?
Correct.
I'll just add on to what Pastor John just said. In regards to, there is this, obviously, it's great for men to be a provider. That's what God wants for men to do. But we also have to look at the kind of country or the place that we live in.
We're providing
the amount of pressure that's on men for you to be a provider for you to get to where you are. For example, I'm a young man and I've got aspirations to one day get married and have a person. So you start as a man at this age. Okay, this is what I need to do. And there's so much pressure on you to provide because you want to make sure that by the time you have a family, you have that person, you've got everything together. And sometimes you just don't have everything together, right? I'm getting there. Can I finish?
Let's finish.
Let me talk and finish. So, right, sometimes, right, because let's say you're working, I work 3 jobs, right? You're working all these jobs, you're trying to put things together, right? And sometimes, you know, going home to that woman or going home to that person,
please.
You know, when you're working all the time, you typically might not have time to go to the gym anymore or do the things that you like. So
women wants us to stop working a lot.
Yes, because I've experienced that when a man wants to go and get married and they are going for someone that maybe they're from a particular tribe or whatever, there is this expectation on the man, you know. So sometimes like just
dowries?
like the dowries. You know, I heard there was one that paid like 150,000 for 150 is it $150,000 or something for diary, just because the woman was a virgin and had a degree. So you can see the expectation.
So he bought the woman from the family.
Basically, yeah, because she had a degree and she was a virgin, so he had to pay 150, and also on top of that the wedding. So everything together, you're looking at almost 250,000.
Could this be the reason why wedding days the women they dance more than the men?
They dance more. They look excited, and the man is just there because he knows what he just went through to get to where he is.
So the man will pay $150,000 to get married, right? And then that means for you to pay that $150,000 to get married, you are taking a debt, you're taking a loan, you're taking a credit
cards and all of this.
Only for that same woman to call you useless.
After you get married.
After you
exactly.
That, right?
Then the blood pressure will go like this.
The blood pressure will increase.
So
the mental health will increase.
When you're at a point where you're feeling useless, your woman, the person you just paid all this money to marry.
And there are sisters, I've heard a sister say here that, oh, it's okay, you don't have to. I've heard sisters in this church that said, if a man does not have this, they cannot marry. You see,
I've seen this.
So now you can see that the expectation. That's why some of our men, you know, they are not even
single sisters. Are you hearing?
Yes, they have raised a standard.
They said tonight you are saying it doesn't matter. Oh, it's okay. But they said they've heard you say before.
I did not say I heard you say. I said I've heard some sisters in this church say that if someone approaches them and they don't have a stable income, they don't have a house, they don't have this, they will not marry them. There are women here that have said this, and there are women out there that are saying the same thing. You know, and the funny thing is, even if a man comes into your life and has all this money, whatever that you're looking for, you still make it difficult for him to marry you. So what's the you know, women don't know what they want in general, and so most of the time, I'm not saying all women.
Listen,
okay,
when it's done with expressing himself, then
I'm expressing myself. Most women don't know what they want. You know, even when you give them what they want, they still want something else.
That point right there, what you just said. Can we finish? I'm sorry. It's our day. It's our time to talk, and your time for you guys to listen to us. Yeah. So we're gonna talk, and we're gonna finish what we're saying. Pastor Kade, I agree with you when you say that, right? So as the man, you will do all of these things. You will provide. You will do that. You will come home and you're expecting to receive peace, right? You get there, that woman is like, oh, you're not here for me. You don't spend time with me. But you wanted a man that provides. A man that provides is never home because he's working.
Yes.
You understand? For him to provide for you.
And most women these days.
I've actually heard some women complain about the man working so much. And then when they start working, they'll be like, you're not providing enough. You know? You're always at home. We're not going on dates.
You see, the standard that most women have raised for men is actually 666. Most women, they want a man. Yes, they want a man with 6 foot, 6 pack with 6 figures. Okay, that is 666. Yeah, and that is what most women want these days. Unfortunately speaking, you know, there are young ladies out there who they will not go for a man that is not 6 foot, 6 figure, and 6 pack. I can go and get breakfast outside. Are you the only one that can
that is
cook?
affecting
There
blood
are men
pressure
that can
now.
cook. Oh. I hope you know. You know.
The preference is affecting blood pressure of the men. Okay, let's hear from you now.
Those things are the reason why men go through mental health as well. They're the reason why. Because men here are distressing on like going to work every single day, providing, making sure that the woman is good. One thing comes to Valentine's Day as well. When it comes to Valentine's Day, the man gets nothing.
So Valentine's Day.
No, I'm just saying things that, for example, for things like that, we have to give on Valentine's Day. Mother's Day, we have to give. Men doesn't receive much.
There's even Girlfriend's Day.
And Girlfriend's Day. There's Women's Day somewhere.
There's Women's Day.
Okay, women have many celebrations.
Women have many celebrations, but men don't.
You guys have birthdays.
That's it. That's one. That's one.
One
day. That's one day.
There's Christmas. Christmas.
Christmas
is general.
You get one small little present like this, and that's it. They say good. That's it.
Socks.
You get socks. The boy came out and they give you socks.
A tie. You get a tie.
No, even on Father's Day, the kids will make some Lego, some small little gift.
Please, women, understand that we are not satisfied with the
Father's
socks
Day
you've been
doesn't feel
giving
like
us.
a Father's Day.
Please improve on the gifts. Okay, let's hear from Mama, then Evangelist, and then we go this way. Cecilia will come to you. Sorry. Yes, everyone.
Well, I would say rightly said, but I don't know if it's this generation the people are talking about or the olden days, because as far as I know, most families or homes in Australia, they either do 50-50 or 70-30. So I don't know if there's home in Australia where the man does everything and the woman does nothing. So I really, maybe the statistic is from olden days, 1960s or 1970s. But as of now, I don't know if there's any woman in this church that doesn't contribute to the home financially. So, yeah. I don't know.
My wife is holding her mouth.
Some are smiling in the congregation.
My wife is holding her mouth because she knows. So yes, there are women here that don't contribute.
No, because what if he gets sick? That's my mentality. What if he gets sick?
Wait, is there a reason why she does not contribute?
I don't know why.
Is it intentionally you don't contribute or... Oh, okay.
Okay, she said
it's not that I want
to pay for everything.
It's not that I want to pay for everything. It's just that I feel like if you know that I'm working and I'm providing, wisdom should tell you that let me help.
Wait.
And I will not ask for it.
Do I not clean every day? Do I not cook every day? Isn't your laundry done? Do I not cook? Kede doesn't eat 2 meals the same day. So every day I have to cook. Okay? And every time you come home, the house is spotless. And he's the reason he doesn't want me to get a job, guys. Okay? He wants me to be a stay-at-home mom.
She's working. Okay. She's working already.
Yes.
She's doing cleaning job.
Focusing on my business.
Yeah, she's doing cleaning and cooking.
Yeah,
so.
I told her to stay home and focus on her business, not to do... No, but what I'm saying is,
from the business, there should be contribution.
There should be some form of contribution. So when we talk about contribution, I know for a fact, 100% sure, that there are women in this country. One of my clients, I was doing their job, and a single lady, she built a house, and they also built their house. The friend came over and they were talking, and I heard her say, we have to pay land tax. And she was like, what is land tax? And she said, madam, you are married. Don't worry about what land tax is. She doesn't even know what land tax is because she doesn't pay bills. She doesn't, And the husband does everything. So, there are men in this country that, unfortunately, they just like to take care of things, and it's not wrong. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is that sometimes, it can put a bit of pressure on the men, because we just want to make sure that things are maintained.
Okay. We need to hear Evangelist Veronica, please. She hasn't said anything. It's about we are raising what is affecting our mental health.
Yeah, so for me, I'm just encouraging the men for a new man. The old time religion say men don't cry, toughen up, don't talk. But now we are in a new generation. So we are encouraging you to talk, because when you are silent, it kills. The blood pressure continues to constrict. And when you're gonna burst one day, you start talking about 100 years and you spoil everything. So in the first place, when you are sick, say it, I'm not well, and then go to hospital. Go and see doctor, because that's one problem that our men are having. You are sick, you don't want to look for help. You wait for maybe a woman to continue to, please, can you come, let's go to doctor. Can you come take Panadol? What is happening to you? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, but you are not okay. So seeking early help when you are not well. Because now we know that men die more than the women. And what is the cause? And what can we do to stop it? We need to stop it because we want you guys around us to eternity, to when we are all old. We don't want to lose our men because we need you guys. So the number one thing is when you are sick, seek for help. I did mental health, men's health when I was in my school. It showed that men, they die quick because they don't seek medical help. When they are sick, they keep silent. They just endure it.
Until it's worse, eh?
When it's worse, by the time there's a man that even gave somebody bribe, they say, let us check you. He said, no, take bribe. I need to go fast. As he left, then he died. So if it's headache, whatever it is, seek for medical help. Don't wait for your wife to drag you and become a nag, like my brother. Sorry to talk about my brother. The wife will drag. Let's go to hospital. They have to call me and say, my brother, go to hospital. We have to drag. He nearly died. So seek for help medically. Immediately you start feeling it. Okay. And there is something they call health check. You are well. Everything is well. You're not sick, but you go and check yourself, blood pressure, your vital signs, everything about you, your vitamins. Check, because when they find something wrong at that time, it's primary prevention. It can be prevented, so it will not go to secondary and tertiary.
They go to university.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama, for that. That's like a reminder.
Is don't carry problems in your heart. If however you are feeling, tell someone about it. Talk about it, because when you talk about it, you feel better, and you might get help. Somebody might give you advice that will help, but if you keep on pumping it there, you might fall down and die, because now the blood pressure is no more flowing well. So those things are important to help you live longer, because women, don't we want our men around? We want them to die.
You see, only one woman said yes. Only one said yes. The Lord will help us. The Lord will help us.
Start changing and then becoming a campaign. Make the campaign. Men, talk about your problem. Men, seek help. Let's forget the past. Don't often, if you like to cry, cry. What? If you feel like crying, cry. It's not bad. Yes, it's not bad, because when you cry, the cry is good for you as well.
Mama, can I say this? Most of us men, we genuinely don't know how to cry. We don't know how to, because sometimes women can just out of nowhere they can just start crying. We don't know how to do that.
Out of nowhere.
It can just be like the smallest thing, or maybe you bought them a gift and and then before you know it, tears is running down. We can't do that. It's very strange for a man. Imagine I bought my brother Chris a present and then he starts crying. I'll walk away from him. Because what kind of?
That's why men are going
But that's why we're encouraged to start. We need to get used
So
to
you
it.
so you all want us to start doing that? We can't.
Yes, to help us express
I'll
ourselves.
just add something.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Can you use the mic, please, for those online? Give it to Mama. After Mama, Sister Susaria, then Percy.
That's different from when you're going through emotional stress, something that is suppressing you, that is affecting you, and you need to express yourself. And the avenue to do that is through outburst, through cry, through tears before you start verbally expressing it. So that's different. Giving someone a gift and crying the tears of joy is different from when something is weighing you down and you cry.
But I don't think it's even wrong if Chris is shedding tears.
Some men secretly cry when no one is there.
Are we allowed to cry publicly?
We're not allowed to cry publicly. Like I said,
If you are confiding in someone, if you say, okay,
so we're allowed to cry in public now.
If someone has created that,
Okay.
no, if someone has created that safe space, that safe atmosphere, that you can confide in the person, you can cry because that's a way of relieving yourself of
So I've seen some men do cry in front of their partners. I have.
In public, like in.
Not in public, not in public.
Like I said,
at
that
train station.
that experiment that I watch online, it clearly shows. Like I said, if I'm walking on the street and I start crying, no one will attend to me. You know, so they will say I'm drunk or I'm high,
high or something,
or I'm possessed. That they'll create all manner of excuses. You know, so that's what I'm saying. That like in general, it's hard for men to just cry because they are emotional or because they are hurt. You know, we can't just. And personally, I would find it strange for another man to just start crying, unless I know that they
but we need
really
to get used to it because we're encouraged to cry now.
Yeah, but you know, it depends on the situation. There are some situations where you know, the brother is very hurt and he will cry. You know, I've experienced that. But to say, because with women, it can be the smallest things. Like I said, we can't do that. It has to be a major.
I think beyond this lived experience, if you look at the movies as well, they also encourage that culture of a man needs to be tough. For example, what is this movie that Titanic?
Titanic, yes.
The man gave up his this thing for the woman. You know, Jack. And the woman comfortably watched him sink. She didn't even try to rescue him.
No, but that was
cute. They said that was cute.
Yes, she didn't even attempt. She didn't even like keep him, hold him by his shirt. It was like, oh. And truly, after that, she married somebody else. That was the end of Jack.
The thing I want to say is I feel like the root cause of the men's mental health silence is the fact that men are in denial when they need support. I think women
self-denial.
They're in denial, meaning they don't know how to recognize when they need support. Women, we know when we're overloaded and when we need support. So the question I have for the men, do you know in yourself what it looks like when you need support? Because if we're saying that women are meant to respond to men when they're struggling, how do we know when a man's struggling if a man's going out of his way to act like he's not struggling? Because what ends up happening is men, like because of an ego and because of this expectation that society, both men and women, historically, mostly men have put on other men, I'll say that. But because of this thing, men, because of competition with other men, they don't want to look like they're struggling in something because they don't want to look like they're not doing things to the best.
It's not really other men because I have never viewed life
but
from
my whole thing,
comparing myself
when
other
men see other men being successful, they want to explain to those men who are successful that they're struggling in something.
Okay, can I reply to you as a man? Most of the time, the reason why that man will compete with that other man is because of what the woman's response to the prosperity of that other man. Where the woman will say is Jack not doing the same job with you?
That's very true.
Is Jack not a man like you? Is so and so?
But can men recognize when they need support? What does that look like? Because I think it's not all men, it differs from the men.
We can recognize it, and if you allow us, we will name the vital signs.
Okay.
You know, the vital signs to know when we need help, when we are crying for help without saying it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want us to list them?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. You start the list.
So I will just give maybe one. One of the major signs that a man is crying out for help, if a man suddenly goes silent and you are asking him questions, he's not responding.
You ask, we are giving you an
I'm telling you. We're not silent all the time. Like now we are speaking, we are expressing ourselves. But it's a different kind of silence. It shows on their countenance. When a man is going through something and they really need help, there is a type of silence that shows on their countenance. It's not a normal silence. It's a different type of silence. You can see it from their face, from their expression, from their body language that something is actually wrong. You would know it. When you see it, you will know it.
And it's biblical. You remember when Ahab went silent? Jezebel went to him and said, what is wrong? That your countenance,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And according to Psalm 42, verse 5, oh, my soul, why now?
Yes.
You know? So understand it, even from ancient times, it's been there.
Yes. So it shows on your countenance, you know, like if you're married, for instance, and you know that your husband normally communicates and suddenly he just goes silent. He shuts down. That's a sign. That's not when you say, why are you not talking? Why are you not talking? No. You need to, so is everything okay? Try to
You need to create the
atmosphere so that they can open up. Because sometimes what happens is the woman will sometimes, something is wrong, but you are not opening up. You are not saying anything. What's wrong? Just open your mouth and talk. And then they get upset that you are not talking, not knowing that you're already going through something and you need peace. And they are increasing the heat, you know. And this is not a shot on anybody, but I'm saying if you notice you're married and your husband suddenly goes quiet and it shows on their countenance that they are troubled, that is when you need to create that space for them to open up. Yes.
Create the atmosphere, isn't it? Yes, Pastor John.
Yeah, so the other one is the unwarranted irritation. You know, we haven't done anything at all, and then you know, men just becomes abusive. There's a where this coming from.
No, Pastor John, say it again, please. Nobody will make us go silent.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you should actually be watching for. You know, you think, you know, a good gesture, you actually expect someone to retain that favor. But now, if someone then just shows, you know, unwarranted, you know, irritation, they say, where is this coming from? Which means there's something that is actually going through. And it might not be mental health. It's mental health. It's someone just fighting a lot of stuff in his head. So it's a way of just.
Can you give an example? Is it like the man being quiet and easy?
Yes. Oh no, maybe you're trying to engage him in a productive, you know, conversation, but the response are not even consistent with what you are talking about. Then.
Oh, okay. That is. Can you come again? I don't.
Yeah. So say,
an example, please.
Yeah, this is when, you know, like someone out of nowhere, you know, maybe the tone of the voice is not really, it's not really, you know, consistent with the situation where.
Okay.
You're correct. So yeah. So you know, good afternoon. Then the next thing is afternoon. For sure, that's afternoon, but you know.
So it makes the man withdraw, isn't it?
Yeah, but now it will be from you left this morning and everything was okay, and the response is not like
it's shorter.
Afternoon, for sure, it's afternoon, but then maybe you think someone will actually say it's everything okay, but it's same afternoon, but the way the tone is not welcoming.
It's not welcoming. Yes. Sister Yvonne, we've been waiting for you to speak. We'll be waiting for you to speak. You'll be brainstorming, I know. Let it out. Let it out.
Papa John, before you go further, can you give us an example? Can you give us an example like you say you come in and you say, good afternoon, right? And then the other person says, afternoon. So how do you want, let's say, here's an example. How do you want the other person to respond back?
No, I'm saying this coming from the wife. Good afternoon, my Lord.
Yes.
Then the response
yes,
to me,
it's scriptural. Sarah called Abraham my Lord.
Then the response
my Lord
will be, while we are actually expecting that you've done the right thing, then it will be afternoon.
Not so much to ask for.
So
not so much to ask for.
So you think after you've actually shown all that respect, then the response should be consistent with the. So you can actually tell that there is something that is not right. Then maybe from there you might actually want to know if anything is going on. Oh, is everything okay? Yes. Why are you asking? So then straight away you can tell that I don't think I've done anything that warrants this sort of response. There should be something that is going on.
So that means, let's say you have seen that there is a problem, right? It's not only on female. You father, you have seen, you men, you have seen there might be something here. So it needs both of you to be old enough to sit down and talk. But if both of you, let's say she answered in that way, right?
This is the husband.
Or man is answering that way. Okay.
Yeah. So we're giving you signs.
Me as the mother, as the woman, I have to sit down and say, my king.
My Lord.
My Lord.
Yeah, because in the law court you call them my Lord. Why would you call the one in the house my Lord?
Yes, my Lord.
The judge is the Lord. Yes, my Lord. No, but you are asking us, how do you identify, when we need you? So we are telling you that when the tone of voice, sometimes this tone of voice is to set an atmosphere for you to ask, to probe.
But where I'm coming to say is like, you as a man, all right, let's say the woman has brought herself down to come and ask, all right? You as a man, you need to accept or bring yourself to that level that she has brought herself, she's coming to you to ask. But if she doesn't ask, it can happen that she knows, according to the atmosphere, as we're talking about the atmosphere, or this can make, more noise. So rather be quiet for a while until after a time, maybe you had shower. After that, you come, sit down, and then we talk.
Yes. So, but now we are coming from, you can suppress. So that sort of response, someone can maybe take a big breath and respond nicely, but doesn't mean that the situation is okay. So you might as well get the real tone that tells you that there is a problem, instead of suppressing a problem.
Okay.
But why is men need to be known the tone?
Because you are trying to understand how to identify.
That's one symptom.
That's how you know we are crying out for help.
Yeah, I think we can't just generalize things like, this is like this. We have now known that. Now I'm talking as a mental health professional. Now there's open discussion, right? That men are silent because of this and that. The men have said that, right? They have said their problems like, the wife might not be listening. We need to be active listeners as well, listening to whatever they're saying. So now let's promote that open communication, right? So that they can feel safe, that safe place they've been talking about. This is what we need to start creating now, so that they can open up more, be able to identify all those things they are saying. Like, if you see that now he's more silent, you can tell there's something unusual. about the atmosphere, because he's someone you know. It's not like you are starting to know that person now, right? You observe all those things. It depends as well as the man. If the woman is asking you, are you able to respond in a nice way as well? It works both sides. It's not always the woman always saying something negative or this side. That you yourself, are you able to answer in a nice way as well when the wife is asking you? That will be another thing. So when we promote that open communication, now we go to accessibility. Are you willing to access for help? When I identify you've got a mental health issue that needs attention, are you willing?
No, but that depends on how you approach us.
Yeah,
because already you've agreed with us that we are silent. You know, we don't talk much, but you want to encourage us to speak up and speak out.
Yes.
So how you approach it matters.
Yes. That's
Because if you just tell us, oh, I think you have mental health issues.
No, I think we need to go and see the counselor. Let's go and visit the counselor together. Are you willing to go and visit the counselor? And again, if we haven't challenged that stereotyping thing, you know, that background thing we grew up with, if we don't challenge it now, there isn't any way you are going to accept that you've got a mental health issue. We need first to challenge that.
So how do you challenge it?
Now we are knowing that we grew up with this tough guy image. Are we going to challenge that tough guy image to say, if I'm sick, I'm sick. I need to seek for help.
But how do you do that? It's by providing an atmosphere, a safe haven for us where we can express ourselves.
We increase awareness, like what Ola was saying. There are a lot of websites.
But we don't know them.
That's why we are talking now. Beyond Blue.
That is where you know that, look, something may be available, but are we motivated to seek it? And if we are not motivated, why? So this is how we investigate it.
Yes.
It's not about being, we are not as online. Men are not as online as women.
Papa,
that is the truth.
Papa, this is what we are saying. There are a lot of online resources now. You don't need even to go and talk with the doctor. You just go there and check. Or Beyond Blue is there. Men say all these.
You say all those names. How many of you know about Young Blue?
No, some of them actually have got the potential to.
He's the only one that knows here on stage.
So I think the first line of defense. If this is to be managed properly, the couple, the wife, should take that role, or what's actually required, or what's required to have that trust.
Because God gave you to us to help us.
Or what? Because you can talk about this or whatever, blue, whatever, which might even aggravate him because they are not even talking to someone. So I think I honestly think that you should have that trusting relationship where if you share problem, don't get excited as soon as the husband leaves the house. 7 people, if not more, are going to be called about, I've cancelled my husband. You should get to that point where the husband knows that, you are doing that counseling in good faith and you keep that to yourself. But now, if that trust is not there, then how can you even trust a counselor who just use these techniques? But some of the techniques, that's fine. They work for sure, but do they perfectly apply in the situation that the couple, the wife, who knows exactly what's actually going on there?
Yeah.
If you can't actually handle that, let's go to the counselor. Or what that means, then the counselor should actually be saying, okay, how is a wife, how are you also contributing to this problem? It's not like it's just going to look at the husband and say the husband is mental or whatever. He's actually looking at contributing factors. And you won't be excluded in the contributing factors.
No, don't take the blame to the woman now for making you silent. That's your own health. if you keep on silent, you get the problem will become so chronic that it won't be treated anymore. You better seek help because
women we are crying out for help now. You have
yes,
a good counselor. A good
you
counselor.
better go and seek for help. That's the truth.
Correct.
Because this depression affects a lot of things. It affects the relationship as well.
It affects the relationship. It affects the family.
Because the men won't be
structure.
able to function as normal.
If it's
So
a
you need to
woman,
know if you don't seek for help, everything will be just dead.
if it's a woman,
Yes.
the counselor, a good counselor, want to eliminate that the man is not contributing to this. The relationship have nothing to do with this.
Yes.
So it's not like they are not going to look at that. There might be a questionnaire there, but that's exactly what they actually start with. You say, okay, can it be because of an affected relationship? So if it's an surely, how can the counselor just say, oh, there is a problem here, I think the husband... they actually have got to...
The problem might be from overworking yourself, 3 jobs, no rest, no this. You need time
and
to
the 3
rest as
jobs,
well.
like
Yes.
they said, they may be based on
You need to rest
expectations.
Sometimes don't blame
Expectations
women.
like Nigel, 3 jobs, isn't it? Maybe based on the expectations on the mind, the pressure, isn't it?
You always say
Okay, let's hear Percy. Let's hear Percy.
Thank you.
And then Yvette.
I just want to ground it back because now we've heard the signs for help. And again, it keeps coming back to men need an open atmosphere from women or from whoever. But right now, it seems to be women. So I've been taking note of things that you guys have said because we want like open atmosphere is not specific as well at all. Every man is going to have a different example. But from what I gathered, we said trust, integrity, safety, certainty, nurture, attentiveness, softness, affirmation, which is the my Lord, and unbiased support. Is there any other things? Because truly this thing needs to be solved.
Yes.
And I also, just so the men can answer, women, we have our issues, we have our own ways we want to be resolved, but right now
Yes,
this is about
women. A time is going to come.
Yeah,
We'll have
because
you
I
up
feel
here,
like
and then you.
women feel attacked. That's a separate conversation. That's not this conversation. Right now, we're talking about the silence of men. So, what are those other key things that can create this open atmosphere? And please, women, let them finish.
Did you add gifts?
Gifts?
Because you remember we gave an example that men only receive socks on Valentine's Day.
We also want food.
Initiative.
Yes, food. Yep.
Okay,
Food,
one at a time.
Did you hear that?
Please,
Okay.
one at a time.
Confirmed.
So we have gifts.
I'll just add one more thing before I have to go to work.
Yeah.
I think another thing as well that we also would like to get from whether it's our sisters, our mothers or wives, is that initiative. Sometimes it's always the man who has to, like, let's say, plan a date night, or the man who has to, buy flowers or something like that. But also, it's nice for you as a man to receive, a random gift from your wife, or
not
you
just
come
pranking,
home and your wife tells you, "Oh, listen, I know you've been working so hard, 20 night shifts. I've booked us a trip. We're going to Bali or we're going to Margaret River."
Yes. Yes.
And it's her money she's using, and not the joint
It's her
account
money.
or
It's her money, not your money. Don't bring your money. Let me book for.
Use
surprise.
that one that you are hiding
Nat.
for yourself.
Yes. Honestly, Nigel is right. He's right. Because if you girls actually do that, we're not going to fight it. And it comes back to a point where we're actually not expecting that. But when you do it, it actually means a lot to us.
We'll love you more.
With your money.
Exactly. Not that they take you out and you pay for it.
Yeah, because some
So they
women
just
will
want to
take
show
you
you
out
the
to get
address
things
to
to
the
send your credit
restaurant.
card. But that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Yes, Josiah has a burden on his mind.
Praise the Lord.
Yes. So we're rounding up now.
In my experience of life, I have found myself behind many walls. And I thank God because we can actually talk about these things. I send so many messages a lot of the time with a lot of words because I have accepted when people say that I'm wrong, even though both of us, a party of 2 people, sometimes there's something that goes wrong. Why can't we sit down and talk about it as human beings? And I've been on my side of not being able to be heard. And a lot of the time from men and women, my dad, men who generally my life, as long as I've lived. I'm not going to say any names whatsoever, but what I will say is I've lashed out in many ways in my lifetime, and people have taken that as I'm reacting, but they haven't asked how's church, how's home, and how's work. And at times it's been terrible, to the point where I go home, it's bad. I go to work, it's bad. I go to church, it's bad. And that was for quite a few years.
But we need to be objective here, okay? Sometimes what we get from our environment is also connected to what we give.
Yes,
okay? Because you would not expect me to throw words at someone and expect the person to give me kind words.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying this because we are on an international platform. Because you say you go home is bad, you go to church. Church is the best place to be. Home is a place God is giving to all creation. If they were too bad, God won't give such places. But your personal experience with people because we cannot judge whatever you are saying here, except we'll have you seated with those people, with due respect to your dad, because it's like that dad is always coming up. I've not met him. So that's why I've always encouraged you, don't mention that whatever experience you've had with him, your dad has his own story.
Yeah.
You understand? And I've told you before, except you know about his upbringing, he must have gone through a lot to be where he is and to becoming a father and all whatnot. So, that's why I say just go directly, address the issue you're talking about so that we don't.
Indeed. I love my dad. He's a very good guy. So the issue I've had is people expecting stuff, me expecting stuff as well. Like I know at a point in time I was on $500 from Centrelink. Mental health was bad. I just came from a job that was bad and I get bullied at work. I go home and then a lot of things are happening. A lot of people are calling me stupid. I've got expectation $900 worth of debt that I can't pay off. And then on top of that, I need my privacy and my time. And then people are calling me stupid and saying things. And this has happened 90% of my life, actually, in my house of my parents. A lot of people didn't understand what I was going through, but I was just lashing out because I was lashing out because I had unmet needs and I was reacting. There was part of me that was speaking. And I'm only going to say, like, I wanted to talk to my dad about many things, but I couldn't talk to him because just, that's how it was. But I used to play video games and I used to play Halo, right? And there's this guy called the Master Chief. He's this guy with gun, blah, blah, blah. But I said to my dad, Master Chief's my dad. And I wanted to be like, I made an image and I hid in a box emotionally and physically because I couldn't take the fact that there was so much stuff needed to be said and done that I could, and there was a point in time where my dad would laugh at me or my mom or my brothers and sisters would laugh at me. It's like, but it was an emotional, it was actually emotional calling from myself to say, there's something I'm looking for. It was me saying in code that I'm relying on this and I know that it's not what I need, but I need this from you. And he didn't get the point or whatever, but it's not the point really.
Okay, so let me come in here, okay?
Cry for help.
I must say this, that in as much as I do appreciate your resilience and the rest, as your pastor, sometimes I also would say while we are good speakers, it's good that we are also good listeners. Okay. Sometimes if people don't give you the 100% attention you want, and you've had this experience with them, it's also important for you to look within, and ask yourself questions. Do a self-search, a soul-searching thing. Is it possible that in the past advice was given me and because I ignored them, is it the reason why this person is like, instead just looking at me and giving me gestures and all that? Because I know that you spoke of having $500 from Centrelink. And I'm a witness to the fact that in one of the youth meetings, I think Percy did volunteer to help support you with financial management, and also some other people around. But I don't think that was sustained. So because we are on an international platform, and it's good that we're objective. This is not a place we sit, and then we speak about people who don't have a voice to defend themselves. So it's important that we speak objectively, because I'm addressing this because you've gone personal, and your dad's name is coming up again. Okay, so I don't want us to go that deep, but I also advise you, it's important that when you have expectations, create an atmosphere that will help manifest that expectation. Not everybody's got what they are individually dealing with. Everybody's got their pressure and also their needs. It doesn't matter how old your father is. There's a possibility that he has his own needs, and there are locations in his heart where he weeps like a baby. You understand? So whatever happened between you and him, he has done his part. You are now a man. You do your part as well, and try to correct those errors by how you live, because blaming our parents is never a solution to anything. The best way to address our parents' failures is by us trying to do better than them. You understand? Because action speaks louder than words. But always saying this, saying that, I don't think is a solution. I do appreciate the fact that you are also trying to say, okay, I have emotional needs, I have these needs. But sometimes we don't really get everything we desire from people and from locations. But that doesn't mean those people are bad or those locations are bad. Sometimes the individuals or the group may not be well equipped to manage meeting that need that we desire to be met. And it's also left for us not to understand, is this person equipped enough to meet that need? Sometimes our parents may not have that emotional resilience to tolerate our outbursts. That doesn't make them the worst parents in the world, but it's their own way of trying to cope, okay?
So I just wanted to confirm that sometimes someone has said, we can help you, and I've denied them to help me. Some of it's because I had a safe space, but it's not the safe space that allows them to come in. So yes, there's times when I haven't wanted people to come in and help because they don't understand it's not just $900 worth of debt that I owe that I can't pay back, but it's just the emotionalness of not having a job. And I know I want money because I don't want to be filled with debt. And I hate being in certain spots where I'm cornered. And I've been in so much situations where I haven't had a choice. And I just want to be comfortable. Thank God for Mama Vero. She took me into her house, and her family is so respectful, and she knows how to talk to people, and she's talked to me many times. So I thank God. From what I've seen, if her son is having issue with the dad, she talks to both of them and she sorts it out. A woman is literally. We want to say, oh, men have to sort it out themselves, but we need women. To be honest, we need mums, we need women, because
the women deserve a round of applause. Yeah, they are not a one, they are a need. We need women, eh? Okay, so let's get the women. Let's get them react to. Yes, let's hear Sister Yvette, Sister Deborah, Sister Yvonne. I'm coming back to
the 80%.
We'll round up with that.
That 80% of men's mental stress could also be added to sexual frustration.
Yeah. You are not married.
Yeah,
Bishop.
It's true. Because I feel like a lot of times that,
for the sake of the young ones amongst us, we'll try not to be too
deep into it. I feel like a lot of times that my husband has showed some emotions. It was because of lack of that area. And then after that,
you are making the man of God to be humble here now.
and then after that, talking is easier. After that mental fog is released.
So it's a mental fog.
Yes.
Yes,
Why are you saying yes? You're not married.
Oh, God, calm down.
I have needs, sister.
Bro. I'm going American on you now, bro.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, so
Okay, what the result?
Maybe just part of winding down. So sometimes don't mistake men's silence for mental health. Sometimes that silence is actually good for the family. I'll actually use our forefather Abraham as an example. You know, when he was assigned to make a sacrifice, and surely if he had just thought in a kind of mind, he could have actually told Sarah that, you know, I've actually been instructed to
kill and roast Isaac.
Yes. But he knew that was actually good for the family, and he kept that to himself. So there are some stuff that we keep to ourselves, not because we don't trust women per se, but it will be, you have not been instructed to share that with your wife. And you know the outcome will be good for the family. And, you know, then just said, okay, I'll keep on doing that, because otherwise if you tell the wife things that are meant to actually work for the family's benefit, what does the wife do? Like in that case, if Sarah, I'm just trying to imagine what Sarah would have reacted if she had been told that the only son that she had was going to be crucified. No, you can't do that. You can't do, already acting against God's will. So sometimes you keep that and say, okay, I know this is definitely going to work for the good. I'm not saying it's not everything that we should share, but there are some stuff that we need to keep to ourselves, but for the good of the family.
Women, it's like the women are tired of us. Okay. So I think, thank you. Let's have Sister Deborah and then finally Sister Percy. Do we want to say something before we close? Okay, let's hear.
It was in regards to, it was what Joel said like a while back, about when you gave an example of what Martha and like the breathing thing. I do like what's it called? Agree with that, like to an extent. Like I do feel like, for example, in that example, that it can allow like a man to really open up and feel safe enough to open up, you know. But there's also like one of our sisters shared, there's some men that no matter what you do, they're like, you know, how would you like crack that? So like I was kind of explaining to them that, you know, like, for example, with me, because I've known like Yusuf for so many years, when we were younger, I never had to do any. I think I've just always really cared about the way men think. So I never really had to actually sincerely ask him to explain stuff to me. Like a lot of things that he explained to me or was vulnerable moments, he just did it. Maybe because at that time I created that space. Even now, when he comes back from work, I like to do lovey-dovey stuff. I'll set candles. I'll give him a spa at home. I like to take care of him like that, you know. And then he will like, as I'm massaging him, for example, he'll be like, "Oh my God, this lady at work is so annoying." Like he starts talking. So I do, so I do agree with that. Okay. But then my question is, like as I was discussing with one of the ladies here, some men are not. How would you then, for her, in her situation, like, how would she go about that? Because it could also bring frustration in the marriage.
I think Brother Joel said something about unlocking something. So look for the keys. The key, wherever the key is.
You have to understand, you got to understand the man that you're with. That's the only way, is to understand the man that you're with and to know his in and outs, his small little things, the things that he likes. You know, men like things. as much as women do, men like things as well. You know, they like the gifts. As much as they don't show that they do, they love the flowers. They love the small gestures. But we have to show that we don't, like, it's not that we're expecting it, but again, like, when you do it, we actually do appreciate it. And it will allow us to actually open up even more and deeper and deeper. So, like what you say, you got to understand who the person that you're with. You got to know them for them. Because not all men are the same. Not all women are the same. But at the same time, we kind of like certain things. So some men likes to eat more than other men.
How many of us like? How many of us like
some
life
men
flowers?
like word of affirmation.
How many of you like flowers, sir? Pastor John.
If I get them, I will appreciate, but I'm not a flower person. But
Pastor Kadet, you like flower?
You have to give Pastor John what he
like
likes.
Flower?
Flowers? No, I'm not really. It's not my thing. But if it's,
Chris, do you like flower?
Yeah.
What about you?
With me, I like plants.
Okay.
So if Martha was to give me a plant, I love it.
The only plant I like
so it doesn't have to be flowers. It can be like plants or something. You know, some people like chocolate.
The plant I like is why I put in soup, like vegetable soup.
But to brother Joe's point, it would be an error if you have got a spouse that you don't even know triggers for either upsetting them or making them happy.
Make them happy, yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know that, then you say, oh no, so what can I do? Which means, you know, where is this truth that will set you free? So you have got someone whom you suspect all the time because you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I think it's really important that people should take their time and know each other very well.
Yeah, I think some men, what they want is trust. That a woman can trust, show them that I trust you.
Yeah.
You make their day. Yeah.
And a woman is the only one that can actually do that. Another man cannot, do that for another man. It starts, like I said, it starts with the woman first, and then that man will go show it to another man. So you will never start with a man with a man. It will always start with the woman, and then that man will take it to another man, and then that man will take it to another man, and then that man's woman can take it to that man. So then that will allow him to actually be comfortable speaking to another man. Because I wasn't the type of person to actually speak to people or speak to men about my problems, because I was held it in. But once I met Martha, she allowed me to open up to her, which gave me the confidence to go open up to another man and ask you, oh, how you doing? Do you need anything? I'm here for you when you need me. So, this is what I'm trying to say based on my experience.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, Sister Percy and then Sister Yvonne. I thought we were rounding up.
Yeah, I just want to go back because I've added stuff to the list that you guys have said. So number 1 is still trust, integrity, safety, certainty, nurture, attentiveness, softness, affirmation, unbiased support. We've got gifts, food, initiative, active listening, a space to fully express, and understanding. Do the men feel like that's a pretty comprehensive list?
Are you able to share that on the Facebook page?
And also space sometimes.
Space,
yeah.
I put space to fully express.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sister Yvonne.
My last contribution is, men's silence, it does affect a lot of, in the family outside, it doesn't only affect the wife, let's say, it affects until it affects the children. Because when men is silent at home, normally, as for me, I'm married to a silent man. Pastor Kade is silent, my man is silent. But in most of the cases, he opens up when he is fasting, right? When just the normal talking, he's a silent man. So, but sometimes on that silence, he's not only silent, he's silent on words, but in here, he's jotting down, right? After me, when I talk, me, it's gone. You remind me what I say today, tomorrow, I don't know. I just talked and it was over. But most silent people, You talk, they write down. They don't respond. And after like 2-3 years, they'll still remind you what you said 2019. They'll say, you are repeating this thing again. You once said 2019. And then what was I talking about? I don't even know how I say this word. And for sure, because I talk and I don't keep things in me. I don't keep grudge. Sometimes it finally comes as a grudge. And when I was thinking about this, I thought of Absalom and Amnon. You know, Amnon did a wrong thing. Absalom got angry and kept it in him.
Yes.
After 2 years, he killed his brother, right? Sometimes it comes up to that. You keep quiet, you're piling things, right? And you keep quiet in the family, let's say. Children are not getting your attention. You find your child preferring to talk to a father next door because they find the father next door open and happy to talk and discuss things. You are quiet, you are on your computer, you are on your television, you're watching Manchester United. Right? We don't even know what is Manchester United, but even if we sit there, we don't understand the tackling of people. We don't like this kind of thing. And I wanted to say something to Josiah, only that he's gone.
He's around.
He's around. In my home, the only happiest place I can be is church. It's church. I'm remembering this thing, we're just talking about it, I think yesterday. When I was like, oh, tomorrow we're going to Bible study talking to Seth. And his dad was like, what? Again to church? And I know what? I can't stay in this house. I'll be depressed and I don't want to be depressed. JPPM is the only place I am happy. I can express myself anyhow.
Amen.
If I cry here. I find it easy and happier to cry in here. I'm crying in front of my father. No, I don't care you judge me.
Exactly.
But I know who am I crying to,
exactly.
right? So I can't cry on the street. They will say, you know, something else. But when I'm in JPPM, I cry. I roll. I know who am I rolling to. I know who am I crying to. This is my safest and happiest place. In my home, I'm at home. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm everything. I try both sides to make it. And then I come to the issue of money. In Western world, every woman, I think, is contributing. In Western woman, so every woman is.
They will say most women.
It can happen. She's not working, but being at home and keeping that home a home.
Yes, it's a big job. Yeah,
it's a big job. You have family. You have to make sure the kids are happy. You have. It's
True.
West, and on top you have to go and face your employer, and at the same time you make sure this guy goes to school with food and everything is happy.
Yes.
And then dad on the side is a quiet man, quiet, reserved, mentally quiet. It's not okay. Men has to need to speak, and especially in this Western world.
Yes.
Kids,
So much isolation.
Their teachers more than their dads.
Yes, true.
Kids, they'll prefer their sisters more than their fathers around. I got a word from sister when she was talking about pastor's dad. She said his dad, they only speak business-like. It's true. Quiet people, they do like that. When they speak, and mostly African father, that's how they speak to their son. It's only like they're speaking to business partners. You don't have time to even, my son, my children, the old ones, they will come to me and ask me about men stuff. And sometimes I'll be shy to respond and I'll just go and send the message from the Google. But dad was there. You are quiet. You are mentally silent to the extent of your children cannot even break through to your mentally silent and ask you about life situations. They believe to come to pastor and believe pastor more than their own father. It is not okay. It is wrong. It destroys the families. It destroys the young kids. And the kids, they are looking up on us. What are they going to do to their own families? They will repeat the same thing. That's my last defense.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I believe we've exhausted this topic. And there's still some comments online. Thank you, Sister Percy, for posting online some possible solutions to this silence of men. So many here. It is beautiful. And I will encourage us to share, those of us that have Facebook accounts and those of us that are on Facebook right now, share this because it will help. Our discussion tonight is going to help so many men all over the globe. And I'm wondering, do the women think we need to talk about the women? You see, the women have solution already. They are so happy, they are okay. Is that? Okay, women have other women. So we men here, we need to have other men. Okay, so I want to encourage the men's department. Can we just add up some activities in our meetings? And like I said, what do they call it again? Golfing, fishing, what again? Mountain climbing, and other activities to just spice up the men's department. Because we notice that even our younger men in teens and youth, they also look disinterested, kind of. So it's already boiling down to, it's like cascading down to the younger generation. So I think we need to step up and then step out. I want to use this opportunity to say a big God bless you and thank you to our women and to our men up here as well who made tonight's Bible study a beautiful and very informative discussion. I also want to appreciate those online who are still sending in and sharing their contributions online. I'm saying, Evangelist, your hand is still up. You have final words for us? Something? Okay, we're going to make this quick and then we close.
I'll just make it quick to encourage our men to tell us what you want from us. Okay? Because sometimes we cannot read your mind. Like if at night you want something,
or at daytime we want
or
something.
At daytime or anytime
In
you
the
want
afternoon
something,
we want something.
be free to say it. Yes, tell us. We are ready to listen. We women, let us listen to our men. It is important. No matter, even if you think they are not talking sense, listen. Okay? Listen to whatever they have to say.
Listen
when you hear it, don't use judgmental language. Because these people are expressing how they feel or what they want. Acknowledge it and be happy about it, okay? And so tell us what you want. Because some men will say, oh, my wife is not giving me son. But did you ask? You never asked. You did not ask.
Are we back again?
You want her to read your mind. So tell her what you want.
I'm back at it again.
Okay? It is important so that the woman will know that she's really satisfying you. You know, because she might look at you and say, this man is tired. I don't want to disturb him. You know, but in your mind, you really want something. So say it out. That will help us in moving forward. Okay?
Okay, so what I'll do as well is that what we've listed out of tonight's study, I will add it to that flyer and then I'll share it so that it can be there for like a remembrance, something we can always go back to, and something the women can also go back to if they're investigating to observe, to know what is disturbing us when we are quiet and all that.
Yeah, probably my final words. Even the men can't talk to women. They can talk to you, Papa. You are the pastor of the church.
Or the men's leader.
Yeah, they need to talk to you about their mental health as well. They need to feel so comfortable talking with you as well. And again, like what Sister Yvonne just said, like cry out to God. In Psalm 34, verse 17 to 18, it says, the righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. So you need to know this is the house of the Lord where you can come and cry out about your mental health issues as well.
Yes.
So yeah, we are there to assist.
Thank you. Thank you. Any final words from the man before we close?
Yes.
Okay. Quick one.
I have but one more thing to say. I think that's how you say it. So for all the men, and I am a man, so I can say this, honesty when you need help is good. When you're struggling, if you can't find someone to help, call the support, the helpline. I've done that in my time of need, but talk about it. And once you finish doing that processing thing in your brain where you're like, okay, I can get this done. But then when it gets to a point when you can't, talk about it, because, we have pastor for a reason. And there's things that you need to say, because otherwise, why do we have people who are men, young men, older men in jobs, they commit suicide? We don't want that. We want our men. And some people want their dads, some people want their husbands. So talk about it, please.
Thank you.
Talk to your pastor.
Thank you. Final words? Any final words?
The helpline, I think for Christian, of course, talking to pastor, that I would say that's the first port of call, because the other helpline, you might end up now being labeled a proper, mental health.
Mental health patient.
So which might even worsen your condition. And if depending on how you're going to be responding to that, they might actually even put that category that to take a while before you are released from hospital.
Okay, so thank you so much. Sister Yvonne, one more. Yes, I think there's a mic there.
Okay. One more point. To allow your women to love you. There are some men that doesn't allow, because maybe where you grew up, you were never seen your dad being massaged. And your wife come in and so you are tired, you've been lifting metals and spanners and mud. And, your wife comes and let me massage you, Dad, and you don't want. You look suspicious. No, allow it. Relax around your wife. Relax. And allow your wife to massage your shoulders and your toes.
Is this suspicious due to culture or something? Or is this spiritual attack? Please, give her a mic. Yes. Minister Pierre, listen.
I remember one day I tried to offer that massage, and he said, "You look suspicious." I asked how.
How did you dress? Were you wearing military uniform?
Just a normal spa. Okay.
Were you wearing dark glasses when you came to him?
He said, "No, I cannot accept that. You look suspicious."
Minister Pierre, forgive your wife. allow the sparring, or is this massage? Allow the massage. Okay? He ran away. So that's a beautiful advice. We men, we shouldn't be too rigid. Let us release ourselves so that we can be massaged. Okay, shall we pray? Father, we thank you for tonight. Thank you for the knowledge we've gathered. We pray, Lord, I will not be hearers alone, but doers of your word. Thank you for those that connected online and those that will be watching late transmission of tonight's Bible study. We pray, Lord, that the benefit of tonight's study will change lives and will be that knowledge that we need as men to break out of the silence of our mental health. Thank you, Father. As we leave here tonight, let your presence go with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit rest and abide with us now and forevermore. Amen. And surely God's goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Just